What's going on, guys? It's your boy Marilyn. I'm gonna skip all the formalities here. I'm gonna skip all the explaining because I really don't have time for that. I'm sorry that my voice sounds really bad. I'm actually kind of sick. I caught like a small cold, so no beer flu. No beer flu. Believe me, I got scared. I'm good to go. So, but anyways, in today's video we're gonna be talking about the newest project to the channel. So I'm also gonna elaborate on a few things at the end of this video. But for right now, I'm gonna introduce this car a little bit more formally into the channel because it will be something that we're gonna pay attention more to as time goes on. And also, in today's video, I'm gonna be answering a question and explaining my answer to a majority of the W8 Passat community. So, let's get right into it. So this is Marilyn. This is my 2004 Volkswagen Passat W8 Sport Package. What comes in the Sport Package? So basically, it's got the sport shocks with the suspension, so it's 20 millimeters lower. It's got the Madras two-piece wheels, bigger brakes, and also comes fully loaded with all the options. Has heated folding mirrors, whatever. These W8s came fully loaded for the most part, but mine came with OnStar. I deleted that, and all kinds of good stuff. So, off camera, I've actually been working on this car. I'm just gonna open the hood here for you guys. So as I mentioned previously, I know it's dark outside, can't really see much, but I've been working on this car a lot, okay? So there's a few things I've actually done to it since I bought it. I obviously did a muffler delete, and you're gonna listen to that here in a second. I replaced the coolant tank reservoir because it broke. I did valve cover gaskets, spark plug O-rings, camshaft positioning sensor O-rings, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to leave a picture of what the engine looked like. Super clean, it's not varnished. A lot of the W8s that I've seen online have nothing but varnish all over their engines, all kinds of stuff. This got the factory clips, everything. The only thing I broke was a clip for the camshaft positioning sensor, which sucks, but I mean, those plugs can easily be replaced, so it's not an issue for me. Next thing to tackle is air filter and a couple of other maintenance stuff. But the biggest thing we're going to talk about today, and this is how we're going to kick off this project, is the headlights. So these are brand new Volkswagen headlights straight from the dealer. I bought them from SCP Euro, so in case they break I can get a free replacement. And my biggest thing with my old headlights was that one, they were faded, and two, they were broken. I'm gonna show you guys what they look like. So we're gonna be reaching in, and then I have my old set of headlights here. So let me see if I can just bring one out real quick to show you guys. This thing has definitely seen better days. You can see that it's faded. It doesn't look good. And the biggest thing was that I tried to convert these headlights to LEDs, but it turned out to not work out because it ended up shorting on itself. So these wires inside this headlight housing here, they tend to break very easily because these cars have daytime running lights from the factory. And unless you pull that 173 relay, which is something I already did, or switch to the Euro headlight switch, your headlights will always stay on no matter what. And that's something that annoyed the crap out of me because your headlights, especially HID headlights, they wear out faster the longer you use them. And I just had tons of trouble with HIDs. I wanted nothing to do with them anymore. So in this video I'm going to explain how I converted my W8 to LEDs. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys what the car looks like with LED headlights. So check it out. I converted this car to full LEDs for the low beams, and you can see that it's not necessarily the best. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who say, why would you do that? The HIDs are the best, and I agree. HIDs perform far better, and these headlight housings were designed for that. But I just didn't want to deal with the headaches and anything like that. So let's go to the trunk, and I'm going to explain to you how I converted my car to LEDs and how you have to adjust them after you've replaced them. I turned off the car so you guys can actually hear me, but the actual process itself is very, 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 very self-explanatory. Okay, so first of all, you have to remove your housing. So in order to do that, you remove your front bumper, all that other stuff. There's tons of videos online showing you how to remove the front bumper off a B5.5 Passat, so I'm not even going to go into detail. But you can see here that there's the ballast here. Let me see if I can focus in on that a little better. Yeah, so here is the ballast. And at the back of the ballast, there's a plug. Okay, and that plug is actually this one here. And you can see I already fished it inside the housing, but usually it comes out through this little grommet back here, and then it connects directly to the back of the ballast. But what I did was I bypassed the ballast completely. My new headlights did not come with ballast, so this made the job so much easier. But in case you wanted to do this on your W8, the process is actually simpler than you think. So you take this here, this wiring harness which sticks out here. This grommet here, you push it inside with the wiring harness, and then you fish it through the projector housing outlet, which is located here. Okay. Now the rest of the steps is actually quite simple. In the back seat of my car here, I actually have the LED headlight bulb. I actually had to pull out of this car because this one's burnt out because it's shorted, unfortunately. I think this is a 9005, but it has to have a plug like this. So this is similar to like a Ford Transit connector or a Ford F-150 connector. Again, don't quote me. This was like a hand-me-down provided by my father because the LED bulbs that he got were unfortunately the wrong size for his car. So I took that as an advantage and decided to convert my car to LEDs. Now the LED chips need to face 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And you also have to make sure that these are the bulbs with the screw adjustment here, because you have to remove the plastic that's located here in order for you to fit the VW HID bulb holder. Once you do that and you screw the plastic tab back in, it becomes super easy. You just basically twist it on. I'm not going to do that here because this thing is busted. And then you plug the end of the ballast harness into this, and that's it. That's all you have to do. It's really, really simple. I mean, I know I can't really get into much detail, and I wish I had a cameraman to really accurately represent what I'm talking about. And I'm also not going to waste my time plugging this in because it's a pain in the butt to pull it back out. But you get the idea. So LED bulb, 12 and 6 o'clock position. You put it in. You twist the cap on, you plug it into the harness for the ballast, and that's it. The minute you turn on your headlights, it's completely converted to LED. It's literally that simple. But here's another problem. So a majority of these headlights, the screw adjustment tabs, they break because of the heat cycles and all kinds of stuff. And these cars are old. So unfortunately, that's what happened to my set of headlights, is that they constantly pointed downward. Not to mention the electronic motors that are inside these particular headlights. They wore out, they didn't work, whatever. And in order for you to get them to work properly again, you have to have VCDS. I'm going to get into that in a minute. But here's the next part of the video where I'm going to explain how you have to adjust your xenon headlights. Now, the process I'm going to go through isn't necessarily recommended because once again, people, you can blind other drivers on the road, so please take what I say at your discretion. Okay? I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. So you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver because you need to get to the adjustment screws that are located here, but we're not going to focus on that right now, in order for you to adjust your headlights, because you do have to do it manually and electronically. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to a parking garage or whatever that's not really well lit, and you're going to park the car about 9 feet away from the wall. I'm a little bit further behind than that, but basically you want the nice straight line, very clearly visible before you start doing your adjustments. Now the following steps I'm going to show in this video is actually step by step, direct from Rostech's website. Step number 1, turn the ignition on. Step number 2, open up your VCDS software. So my VCDS is right down here. I'm just going to open it up. It's going to take a while. This laptop's kind of old, but here's VCDS. Okay. I'm going to click on select control module and then 55 headlight range. Okay, it's going to load up. It's going to boot up my VIN number, whatever, what kind of stuff I have. The next step is very, very important. So first things first, you gotta be on level ground. The suspension has to be settled. Parking brake has to be down. In this case, it is. My car's on level ground, parking brake's off, whatever. So first you have to make sure you don't have any fault codes in your system. I probably do. I do. Headlight's not adjusted, control circuit for left, whatever. So I'm gonna clear the codes, hit yes. I just heard the little motor go off. Fault codes have been erased. Okay. I don't know what this high beams thing is. It's been on for quite a while now, but now it just said the headlights are not adjusted. So what I'm going to do now is go to basic settings, tab up to group 1. Basically you're just going to wait about 20 seconds. So I've waited about 20 seconds. Okay, that's direct from Rostech's website. I waited about 20 seconds for the headlight motors to adjust themselves, and now the next step is to turn your headlights on, okay, and then adjust them manually. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'm going to show you guys what I come up with. Okay, so as you can see here on the left side, again, I'm not trying to say that LEDs are better than HIDs. This is the downfall of using LEDs, is that sometimes you get these dark spots. I have a completely different bulb on this side, so I might switch both of them, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. I've adjusted them to the level where I'm most comfortable with, because they were pointed downward before, and now they're nice and level, just about, you know, where they need to be. So then afterwards, you go back to VCDS here, you go up to group 2, and then it's going to say voltage level sensor rear. It's going to say it's learned its new position. Okay, once you have all that stuff, you say done, go back, you go back to your fault codes, you no longer have the headlight adjustment fault code. I don't know why I have the terminal 56 high beams open circuit. I'm going to clear the codes again. I'm going to try it one more time. It's probably going to come back. Oh, no fault codes found. Great. So then we're going to hit done, go back, close controller, go back, and you are all set. That's how you adjust and program your headlights on a W8 Passat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close out VCDS, unplug my OBD2, and then I'm going to take her for a test drive and see what it looks like. I bet it's going to be a little bit better than before. That's for damn certain. So as you can see, on a very dark road like this, they're not necessarily the best things in the world, I gotta be honest, because again, these are not HIDs, these are inferior to HIDs. When you turn on the high beams though, the reflector comes down and you can see a little bit more, but for the most part, it's much, I gotta tell you, is it brighter than HIDs? Absolutely not. But can I finally see? Yes, I finally can see now. Because before, my headlights were just pointed downward and I couldn't see jack. If that's all you came to this video for, then click off now. For those of you who are subscribed to my channel and haven't heard from me in a while, it's time to address the few elephants in the room. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room. You can see Clementine's here, Marilyn's here, and there's nothing here. So, if you guys haven't put 2 and 2 together by now, I've sold the Skyline. Harley's no more. She's off with her brand new owner. So unfortunately, the R32 had to go. Not only because of the fact that I had financial and personal reasons behind it, but also because you guys don't watch the videos. That car was an investment, not only financially, but also for the channel. It just didn't pan out the way I wanted it to, and that money could be put to use better elsewhere. buying a house, for example, things of that nature, and I gotta take the next steps. So that's what I wanted to do. For Clementine, she's been sitting, she's just been chilling for a while. I haven't really decided what to do with the car yet. I'm definitely not gonna sell it. This is a car I will never sell. It's a staple to the channel. It's gonna follow me everywhere I go. But that's generally how things are going down. Right now, with the focus being on my new daily, I'm gonna restore this car as much as I can. Mainly because now that I have VCDS, which is a program that allows you to read every single fault code in every single module of the car, it's going to allow me, and it's going to open up a range of possibilities in terms of solving all the issues with that car specifically. The ABS module is actually unfortunately going out on this car. Pretty common thing on these B5.5 Passats to go out, but that's one of the things I'm going to be including in the video. And a lot of other things too, because if you look online, there's barely any footage of W8 Passats ever. Not to mention that mine is a pretty rare unicorn. It's a factory 6-speed Passat. So I know you guys, especially all you W8 enthusiasts out there, who probably found my channel by just searching it. I know you guys are gonna want to see a lot more of what the W8 is capable of, what the W8 is about, and how unreliable these cars really are. These cars have a notorious reputation of being the most unreliable Volkswagen ever built. Actually, in my opinion, the Phaeton takes that crown. The W8, however, is miles more reliable than the Phaeton. The only downside about this car specifically, and this is something I'm going to talk about in a whole separate video, is the transmission. If you have the automatic tip tragic, as it's known, of course it's going to be unreliable. The tip tragic on a W8 is a recipe for disaster. That transmission is not strong enough for the power that this car makes, unfortunately. But if you have the 6-speed, like I do, it's no issue at all. Have no transmission codes, obviously, because there's no TCM. I don't got any other issues with the car. I just did a tune-up. I did spark plugs, I did valve covers, I did all that stuff. Because the car was actually burning oil, it's smelling of oil. No longer has that issue because I replaced all that stuff. It had a misfire. It no longer has the misfire. So these are all just general maintenance things that I've done to the car so far. All the rest of the stuff is just common B5.5 Passat crap that I've had to deal with on my TDI as well several years ago. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. There's gonna be tons of content to come in the future. How soon? I don't know. But hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been your boy Maliga, and I'm out. Peace.